Hello, everyone. I'm Joanna De Ninis, and this is Truth Talk for April 22nd, 2026. The topic for today is choose peace. So life can be very challenging at times, and we face obstacles. We have challenges in relationships. Things don't go our way. Um, and we can choose to handle things in a peaceful manner, or we can choose to handle it in a non-peaceful manner. We can fight to the hilt, I guess, argue our way through it, or we can try to find a resolution and handle it in a peaceful manner. So it's obvious, at least to me it is, best to choose the more peaceful route, right? An example would be, if you're going through a divorce or you're splitting up, right? You can hire attorneys, you can contest it, but you're always going to be full of anger. You're always going to be full of retaliation. You're going to hire attorneys. They're going to continuously litigate. Uh, they make money while you pay more money. And that money that might have gone to your children is now going to pay for attorneys. And you're going to spend a lot of money to get in a contested divorce, right? Versus realizing that things aren't working out. You both try to divvy things up fairly through, like I said, a mediation attorney, someone that's going to find the middle of the road that's, fair for both parties. And you're going to save a lot of money in the long run, and it'll be handled more amicably, more peacefully. And you get to save your money and not have to have all that stress and anxiety and drag it out for who knows how long because no one's going to agree on anything and everyone's in retaliation mode, vengeance mode, which is doesn't really get us where we rather be, right? So this is important to consider. I mean, it all comes down to a choice. We have a choice as to how we want to handle things. Do we want to handle them peacefully, amicably, or do we want to fight, argue, stress out, cause anxiety, drag things out, have it be more painful, throw more money at it? I mean, it's really it comes down to a choice, just like anything else in life. It comes down to a choice. Do you want to be peaceful about it, or do you want to be warlike about it? And this applies in, you know, so many circumstances in our day to day, but most importantly in, you know, what's happening worldwide when we talk about, you know, we want to have peace and there's always wars breaking out. I mean, we know the end result is never, we don't want to go through war. We don't want to have war, but yet war keeps happening. We keep repeating the cycle. History repeats itself. We haven't learned anything. We haven't found a way where we can, you know, come to a resolution, an agreement, a negotiation, a settlement, something where we can have a meeting of the minds and two parties can walk away feeling like, you know, we each got a pretty fair deal. Everyone's, mutually satisfied and we can all go on our merry way, right? But for some reason, we can't, most people can't do this. And it's unfortunate because, you know, we should always be trying to operate from a place of love. We are one and the same. We're part of the collective. Each of us, what goes around comes around. What we do to others comes back to us. So if you look at it that way and that we're part of the whole, um, we should be treating our fellow man as we would treat ourselves. So you would think that it would be nice to have reciprocity and fairness for everyone, and that we should be able to see what's fair for not just us, but for the other person. And the more that we're in a leadership position, the more we have to emulate peace, not, you know, war. And we all know war is fueled by power and money, or the love of power and money. Um, we shouldn't be, it shouldn't be so one-sided. We're all equal. We're all in the same, it doesn't matter what leadership position we have, we're still human beings. We bleed the same. We feel the same. We are the same, right? We might have come from a different nation, but we're still human beings. So no one human being is better or superior than another. So there might be people that are in a leadership position or higher position, but that doesn't mean that they're entitled to more or that they should have more control, power, or money over another. I'm not saying in the capitalistic sense, I'm saying, no one is of a higher value than another human being. All the same, we're human beings. We do this in sports. I personally am not very competitive, but we compete with different countries, and at the end of the day, the best man or the man that's most or the woman that's most skilled, right, wins. And you know, the loser goes home and shakes hands and handles it well. They congratulate the person and they handle it respectfully, and they relinquish their whatever, they know that they didn't win, that they got outplayed. There's no hard feelings, there's no resentment, there's no, retaliation, there's no, it's just a matter of being mature enough to say you won fair and square, right? This is not hard. Coming to that realization that um, we're not going to win all the time and we're not going to get everything our way. It's just a normal thing. It's nothing that we should expect that leaders in positions shouldn't think that they're going to have everything their way all the time. It doesn't work that way. You don't just go to a smaller country and say, I need your resources. I'm just going to take what I need and be on my merry way. It doesn't work that way, right? It's everybody has their right to the same thing. So what gives one country, whether it has more power or money, the right to just go and take something from another? That, that's not the right way to think, right? We have to be real. We have to realize that now we're not the only people that exist in this world, and it's not only about us, right? So, um, I just feel like we can't just learn this basic, simple principle of fairness, equity, and reciprocity. Again, the golden rule says treat others the way we want to be treated. It's really that simple. You know, if you don't want to get invaded by another country, then don't go and invade another country. It's that simple. If you don't want to have bombs flying into your backyard, then don't go bombing everybody in another country, right? Um, maybe kind of understand when you're trying to disarm someone, but at the same token, why not do it peacefully? Um, you know, or do it as a way of you know, with central intelligence, like the CIA do it. Why would you, you know, continue to fight fire with fire? Use the intelligence that we have to find a better way to handle these things. Terrorism is a real thing. And apparently leadership in countries are, funding terrorism. Well, one way would be stop the leader. The other way would be to try to undermine the terrorists that are doing what they're doing. And the way to do that is, you know, using intelligence and strategy. That doesn't mean go bombing everybody. It just means using intelligence and strategy. I really would like to think that we can give credit where credit's due. I mean, we are an intelligent race. We should be able to handle things peacefully. We should be able to find solutions to things peacefully. We should be able to be creative and find ways around obstacles. We should be able to hold our ground, set our boundaries, not let people violate us, and still be loving, kind, and considerate. As long as we operate from a place of love and we live by the golden rule and factor in fairness and consideration for our fellow man, there's nothing that we can't do. I always say, in the absence of control, love conquers all. And it's true. With love, you can do way more than what you can do with forced control. I think that we have the ability, because we can communicate, to come to resolutions. Now, granted, some people don't have good communication skills, and mostly people that are not mature enough, they won't have the best communication skills, but we can learn that. And most of us already have that skill and we can utilize it as long as we don't let our anger, our fears, our frustrations, our ego, our feeling of entitlement get the best of us. We should be able to communicate ways of amicably reaching solutions with our fellow man. It's really not hard. Like I said, it comes down to a choice that each and every one of us has to make. And we can simply learn from the past and not repeat history. For some reason, we don't. So it really is a conscious choice to choose peace over war or over fighting, peace over, retaliation. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. I don't know what else to say. I feel like um, frustration, which I get sometimes, it's a real feeling. It's a human emotion that's a lot of times justifiable because, when you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or it's a terrible feeling to deal with, but there's always a better way of handling things. And if we can just calm down, communicate, come from a place of love, we can reach a resolution. We should be able to, but it comes down to a choice. It's up to each and every one of us, right? We can't, control someone else. We can only control ourselves. But if we choose peace and we operate in a place of peace, if we can relinquish the love of power and money, we can stop a lot of this chaos and these wars that continue. If we can stop being so prideful about our faith and our religion, stop believing that only our beliefs matter, um, we can go a long way, right? Everybody has a right to practice their own beliefs, and nobody should be telling anyone otherwise, right? As long as we're doing good and we're following the good God or the good source, um, and not doing things that like killing in the name of Allah, we should be good, right? So I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to leave this here because I don't know what else to say. It's again, we as humans, life is simple, but we complicate things. It's really that simple, right? We can choose peace. We can choose to do things amicably. We can choose to effectively communicate to reach resolutions. We can do this. If as long as we have consideration for the next person, live by the golden rule, make good choices, follow with love, and believe in peace, peaceful ways of handling things, there is a lot we can do, and there's a lot we can accomplish. So, all right, everyone. Hope you have a good night. Please like, share, and subscribe to these videos if you like what you see. If you want to go again, check out what I'm trying to do with the Reach Integrative Healthcare cause. Please go to www.reach.group, GROUP. So I'm going to call it a night. Have a good one. Good night. Till next time. Goodbye.